Hello guys, welcome back to another Rick Studios video. Ah yes, best YouTube channel. So, here's what we're gonna do, because I'm not a professional YouTuber by any means, and nor do I want to be. I am a little frustrated with the lack of knowledge when it does come to this game, so I figured I'd make a tutorial to help you guys out, because yes, it is a very, very, very realistic game. So, we are on TrP version 2 today. So, here's what we're going to do. You first spawn in, and I'm in my private server, so there's nobody to bother the video or any of that. So you have two options when you spawn in. You can spawn as a passenger at any of these lovely locations, or you can drive. Now, for what it's worth, you also have a little information screen which tells you all this lovely stuff. I will tell you, this is a community-made video tutorial. You should definitely watch this, as shown right here. And if you would like extra help in addition to this tutorial, you should check out the Discord server, which I will link below in the description. You must be 13 years of age or older, otherwise you will get myself in trouble, and good old Ved. I love that guy. So, first things first, I'm going to head off into settings. This is how you can optimize your gameplay. So, you can set world time offset, which we'll get into later, but for the purposes of this, I'm going to set to device time, just since my device time, I like that. You can also set, would you like to allow your friends to interact with your vehicle? I'm going to say yes. And would you like them to be able to interact with your tools? I'm also going to say yes, because they're my friends and I trust them. Now, you can always turn this off, should you not like that. Precise steering mode, if you've ever played OMC2, this is one of those things where it helps you to ensure smooth turning. So I like to hold shift while I'm doing it. So if I let go shift, it automatically centers back to the center, which we will also demonstrate. There's also inverse hold and there's hold. I'm going to leave it there because I like that. Guiding stop names, that's fine. Route navigation, I would recommend for you guys beginners to keep that on. Steering wheel mode, not sure what that does. Third person camera tilting, that's disgusting. I would leave it off. Camera zooming based on acceleration, if you like realistic cameras, I guess that's a good thing for you. I personally despise it, so I will not be doing such. Obviously, if you have a potato computer, you can mess around with this. I'm going to leave it large, and yeah. Go ahead, click save. Gonna go ahead, head back here. I'm gonna click drive. So for me, I have 3 vehicles to pick from. Most of you at the time of this video being made would have 2, and eventually it will be more. For me, I have the Sputnik vehicle, which is a car. It's just for us previous ticket inspectors. The ZIU-9. This is the bus I would recommend for beginners. This, if you have the Game Pass, I would not recommend driving this until you have the necessary experience, because it is a pain in the butt to drive. Notice how I didn't swear there. Can't do that. This is a kid's video. So, I'm going to go ahead and click that. I'm going to leave it at this livery. This is probably my favorite livery. It's a advertisement livery. Got the USA Hungry flags. Oh, yes. Tremendous. It's going to go ahead. It's going to spawn that. So, coming into the game, you'll spawn in this lovely Russian, authentic depot building. My recommendation, the first thing you're going to do is you're going to grab all of your equipment. You have 2 things you need to grab. And notice here it says, driver, do not forget to take your vehicle equipment before proceeding. Equipment. I'm going to click on the counter here. We're going to take the toolbox first. That's the most important thing. If you want to come back for the destination board container, you can, but I'm just going to get both of them now because it makes it easier. Did it spawn my bus over here? Of course it did. Get some of that fiscally friendly cardio in. Nah, bro, we gonna walk because I keep it real. Oh, God. No, I'm not going to talk like that. As just a native Hungarian, I grew up riding these things, so it's easier for me, but for some of you it might not be, so I'm gonna make sure we simplify it as much as possible. If you don't speak English, unfortunately, I'm not going to take the time to make a translated video, let alone write translated captions. If you speak another language and feel like doing that, please do, because that's too much work for me. So what I like to do is I like to grab my clock out. I'm going to hold out the clock, Gonna hold down V on my keyboard for placement mode. V as in van down by the river. That was so funny. Gonna place that down. Reverser wrench. You're gonna hold V. You're gonna place that on this little lovely black box under the driver's seat. This is what you're gonna use to shift into drive, neutral, reverse. You left click it. That's drive right there. Right click neutral. Right click again. That's reverse. We're gonna leave it a neutral for now. You cannot move without that wrench. Always put that wrench there. Then we'll come back to this layer. Let's go back, grab the destination board container. Looks like the sun's setting. Generally, the game itself normally spawns the people who have no idea what they're doing up there, so you'll likely spawn back here, but, yeah, it is what it is. Get some fiscally friendly cardio in, aka walking. Destination board container, and if you decide to return your bus, which most people don't, you can go back in there, click on the counter, hold it out, click return item. But there's a depot entrance, so you can bring your bus back. It's just a pain in the butt to do so. I usually just leave and it automatically deletes. Very fancy. And if you are still watching me walk at this point in time, I will put little sections on the video so you can fast forward as needed. I'm not going to go all fancy and write steps out on the screen for you. I might do a step-by-step thing in the comments, but I'm not going to do all the editing because I feel like it's not necessary. So, we have all our equipment. Now, as far as placing stuff down, you can place this up here, you can place it down there. Any place where it lets you place it's up to you. I usually place under this front seat, but some people will place both the toolbox and their kit back here. It's really up to you. Anywhere where it lets you place it is good enough. I just feel like this is the best place for me, because I don't have to walk back to Africa to grab that. So, first thing we're going to do is we're going to go check the pull head percentage. So here's what you're going to want to do. You're going to want to grab a pull head wrench and I repeat, 2 pull head inserts. You might have to click on it 3 times. Once you got all these 3 things, you're going to come to the back here with your pull head wrench out. You're going to climb up this ladder. These are what we call pull heads here. These go up. These are what connect to the wires up there. These are basically conductors. So if your pull head percentage gets low, it's possible that they will de-wire more often, aka come off the wire. So you're going to want to right-click on that with the pull head wrench. If it's under 80%, I would say. You're going to right-click on both of them. Then you're going to put the new ones in. Here's a new one we just got out of the toolbox. Hold V for placement mode. You might have to move your mouse a little bit around. I like to put my camera right about there and then place it in. There's 1. Make sure you're not gripping the pull. Click on it again. Let go. 3. Place that in there. Bada bing, bada boom. 100% now. You're going to come back up here. And you'll have to play around with it at first. Make sure you pause the video as needed to do all that. You're going to put everything back in here. 9.2 hours. I wonder when I'll transfer my data over. That's pretty much it for the toolbox. So we're going to go ahead. Now we're going to begin the actual startup process. The first thing we need to do, though, is come back out here and put the poles up. Because you can't do anything until the poles are actually on the wire and your bus has electricity, because it is a trolley bus. Not a tram, not a train, a trolley bus. In America, we call them trolleys. I hate you. It's trolley bus. Thank you very much. Now, go up there like that. Bada bing, bada boom. I gotta take a second to appreciate my spiffy looking character. Oh, yes. Look at that. Got the little TTA badge I made. Not sure why I'm wearing it with the uniform. They have these uniforms for sale in the group store. I'm wearing the older one. I feel like it looks more Soviet. So, I should probably explain how to put these poles up. Yes. So, basically, you start off with the pole like this. It's in the hook. If the wires are on the left, I say start off with the left pole so you don't cross these 2 here, because that's going to pull both of them down. Start off with the left one, put it up, then we'll go to the right one. You're going to go ahead, you're going to click on the pole, click on it again to let go, click on it to pick up, slide it out from under there. You're going to hold E on your keyboard, as in echo, E to raise it, and then the Q to lower it, as in quicksand, huh? Lower it. We're going to go ahead and hold E to raise it up, get it in place. You're going to walk around to that little pole heads lined up with the black wire there. And you're going to go ahead and you're going to raise it up like that. Then you're going to let go of it. clicking on it to let go. They're going to come back in here. You're going to click on this driver's seat here. Now you're sitting down. First thing you're going to do is turn on the battery, which is going to be down here. There's two levers. There's power steering and battery. You're going to flip this battery switch. Next, you're going to turn on your control circuit here, the compressor, and the sequence. Leave the buzzer off because it's annoying. Driver's cab light, just since it's night. Parking lights, doorway lighting, just since it's night. You have the heaters you can mess with, but technically in Russia it should be spring right now, so I'm going to open the window because it's probably nice out. I usually only turn on one interior light group. If you want, you can turn on both. We'll do it for the sake of this video. That's both, but actually, since I can drive the best, I'm going to leave light group 1 off. You can also turn on these lights just by clicking K on your keyboard, as in kite. And now we're going to get to the fun stuff. You have all these lovely levers back here on the back wall. You're going to switch this one, backup fan and generator motor breaker. Front heater does nothing yet, so you can leave that off. Compressor, you're going to turn on. Compressor, I'll show what that does in a second, but you can hear it running. And then you're going to do fan and generator motor breaker. Now the trolley bus itself is running, and we'll do main power breaker as well. Your trolley bus may not move if this is switched off. Always check to make sure this is on if you're not moving. That's the first thing you do. Now we can go ahead and turn buzzer on. So the buzzer is going to come on whenever you go over one of these lovely switches out here, which you'll see later in the video. But for the purposes of hearing the buzzer, I'll go ahead, I'll switch that off. You can hear the buzzer right there. Go ahead and switch it back on. And then compressor. What the compressor is doing is, by this blue light being on, and you can hear it running in the back, it's going to build up your air pressure. You have two air pressure gauges. There's the first pressure and the second pressure. So this is left side of the bus, this is right side of the bus. Your bus will not stop or brake unless this is above 6. If it gets to 6 or under, the compressor should come on. If it's not, you're just going to have really, really bad braking. And in order to move the doors without having to do it by hand, the air pressure must be above 4, which it is at now. You can see here the air pressure is at above 4, almost out of the red. To control the doors, for the first door, you're going to click 1 on your keyboard. Second door, you're going to click 2 on your keyboard. And the third door, you're going to click 3 on your keyboard. You can also click these lovely switches. It's all labeled. This does nothing. That does nothing. These are your hazards. Click B on your keyboard for hazards. I mean X on your keyboard for hazards. You can also click on it. Go ahead and click that off. Left windshield wiper, it does rain in game, and if you can't see out your windshield, you just turn these on. That's the left windshield wiper, that's the right one, and that's pretty much it for controls as far as keybinds. Left blinker is Z, as in zebra. Right blinker, or indicator I should call it, is C, as in cat. Horn is H. You can also click the horn button right there on the end of the stick thing. For headlights, you click on this left click to bring on the dims, which also turns on the little lights inside your destination board area. Those are the dims. You can see the parking lights are on too. Click it again. That should come on. You can also click L on your keyboard to move this up. So let's turn it off. If I click L, it should switch on. Just click that switch one more time, or L on your keyboard one more time for brights, and then you're at the top. To turn it off, there is no keybind, you just have to right click there. You can also flash your brights once you get to the end. In America, I'm pretty sure that's a gang sign, but in Europe, it's common courtesy, I guess. And then we'll go ahead, we're going to click turn on power steering. Your wheel turns so much more easily when you use power steering, and if you don't, then you can't turn very well. So there's that. We'll go ahead and set the destination before we leave. The rule as far as destinations for drivers is you're supposed to leave the depot in a not in service destination. So we're just going to do that for the purposes of this video. Otherwise, like if you're going to go on Route 10, you can do that. Oh, even though it's not done yet, you can just leave out of here with the 10 set. Because if you leave here with your destination set, for like Route 14, for example, you'll get warnings and it'll say you're skipping stops. So I would recommend doing not in service till you get to the place where you want to start your route. So you're going to go ahead, you're going to click on this container board. You're going to click normal destination boards, normal, not in service. You're going to hold V, you're going to place it right there. You need one there. another normal one on service. You're gonna open this up, hold V as in van for placement mode, click it in there, close that. You have to do it from the inside. You can see it's up there. And then for this back one, this is a small one, so we're gonna open this. You're gonna come back here. You're gonna click small destination boards, not in service. Hold V for placement mode, place it in there, close that up. Come back over here, and now we are officially ready to go. We'll go ahead and left click this for drive, close all the doors, watch the satisfying door animation. Oh yes, that was very satisfying. Driver's cab, light should always be off while you're driving, that's a law thing, and since it's nice out, I'll go ahead and open some windows for the passengers. Just open everything, because why not? These hatches also open up here. Go ahead, get going. We're going to click P to turn off the parking brake, or you can click on it. I'm just going to click P. And you can notice here I'm holding shift on my keyboard. It shows up with a little percentage right there. That tells you how far you're turning. So notice how like I'm holding shift and I'm turning, and this does not auto center, but if I let go of shift, it goes back. So now it's normal Roblox steering. It just centers back to the middle. But I'm going to hold shift because it allows for better steering. Now, this is the fun part. On these switches here, they have no electricity. You do not want to stop on these. So you're going to go, I would recommend above 6 and under 13 kilometers an hour. Notice I just went over that, no problem. We're going to go over this one too. Do not go fast on those, you'll de-wire. Don't go too slow, you'll get stuck on them. And then, for these types of switches here, you can see you have the option, instead of merging these two together, you have the option to go right or left. To go left, you're just simply, as soon as your pull heads touch this little metal piece here, you're going to accelerate, or you're going to brake to go right, or you can click E and it switches off this switch so that you can accelerate, therefore it takes you right, but make sure you turn it back on after you're done with the switch. So we're going to go right here, so I'm going to get some speed built up. I'm going to click E to switch that off. Notice I just went right. Now I'm going to click E again so we can accelerate. We're going to go left. As soon as we get close, we're going to start accelerating, and now we're going to the left because this is where we want to go. Take it slow over this switch over here. Make sure if you're driving at night, you go a little slower so you can watch out for switches, because until you know the map, you don't know where the switches are. I know where the switches are, so I'm going to go fast. I think most experienced drivers don't actually know where the switches are. Right there. Alright. So one of the things that just happened is my main power breaker shut off randomly, which it likes to do. Flip that back on, and now we can accelerate again. It does that occasionally. Now, when you are accelerating, if you hold W and F, as in far, hold F, and you can see here goes from A2 to A3, that just means you have better acceleration. If this braking isn't fast enough for you, if you hold F, it goes to full braking. So if you want full acceleration or full braking, you just hold F in addition to whatever key you want. I'm sorry if I'm making this too complicated for you guys, but I'm not typing it out. See, this keeps shutting off for some reason. Switch off the control circuit for that one. I'm going to go ahead and click E again. That should come back on the way right. Make sure you're stopping at red lights, otherwise you lose driver points. I mean, you can see mine is -61. Don't run red lights. There's going to be a switch right here. Go slow. At this point, I would kindly say you can fast forward to the next labeled section, because I don't think we're turning different things. So fast forward to where I started section and at that point, I'll stop. Stop those lagging, don't go fast. bad. Now, technically, you can pick up a route at any stop, but I like to go all the way to the beginning stop. 14, you could go either way. Since you're coming from the depot, you could go to Skyscraper Street, or you could go to whatever the other one is. Oh man, I missed this lane. Now there's going to be a switch right here. And you'll learn the directions for the routes eventually because they're not quite as obvious as they should be. But for the 14, you could follow the way I went, which from the depot, you go left out of the depot, then you go left again at the next intersection, then at the next intersection after that, you go right, then go right at the next one, then we just took another right, and now we're going to go up this bridge thing here. We'll go ahead and finish the way to Skyscraper Street, and I'll meet you guys there. Alright, we are now at Skyscraper Street where the 14 terminates. We're going to go ahead and head into the layover area. This is derailment street actually, but either way. You're going to go ahead and turn on your left blinker, and you're going to come in here. As soon as you go up, the gate should open, otherwise reverse and try again. The general rule of thumb for politeness is if you're going to stop and take a layover, go to the right. So we're going to turn off the control circuit and turn it back on. Now that we're to the right here. And now we're going to go ahead and change our destination to the 14. You're going to go ahead, you're going to open this. You're going to right click on the destination board, right click on it to take it back. You're going to go ahead and you're going to go ahead and place that inside. Then we're going to swap it out for a 14. Same thing we did before. Hold V to place it in there. Same thing goes to the back. And anytime you place anything down, if you want to pick it back up, you just right click on it. So I right clicked on that. Small 14. Like if I want to pick this destination box back up, I just right click on it. That's all. Left click on that. I'm gonna go close the door. And once you are adapted to the game and know how to drive, if you want to, you can use a timetable, game time, and world time. In this case, I will do world time. Route 14. I'm gonna go ahead and take this out. Hold V, goes right there. Gives you a little guide on when to go, when to leave. It is actually 4:29 right now, so I'm gonna go ahead, turn off the parking brake, and we'll get going. So close this. I'm not quite sure why that keeps shutting off, and I think we would just crash into that. This, ladies and gentlemen, is why you do not turn your head to mess with this while you are driving. For the record, you do not see anything. Stopping a stop, in order you have to complete this checklist in order to go on to the next stop without penalty. So to fully stop the vehicle, you must turn on the parking brake. That red light comes on, parking brake's up. You're going to open all 3 doors, 1, 2, 3. Then we're going to go ahead and set up the announcer. You're going to click buttons 1 and 2, so you have to click, let me turn cab light so y'all can see. You have to click a little bit above it. I should say bones 1 and 2.
To select route. 6. Press first button. To select route.
Click skip
9.
so you get to 14.
Press to select route. 10. To select route. 14. Press first button. You are being served by Main Island Trolleybus Depot.
To advance the
This vehicle
announcements,
is
you're
en
going to
route.
click the right bracket
14.
on your keyboard.
The next stop is Anti-Disestablishmentism Street.
I'm going to go ahead and close the doors. Time to depart. It is now 4:30. In my time at least. Go ahead, accelerate on this to go left. There we are. Over here, there are secret little cans of coal that you can get. Containers, you can load on the bus. You guys can just go there. I'm gonna go ahead, put the parking brake on, open all 3 doors. We're gonna click the right bracket for the next stop announcement.
Anti-Disestablishmentism Street.
If anyone wants to get on, they'll get on. Otherwise, it says OK. After waiting for some time, close the doors. Left indicator for that to acknowledge that you're pulling out. Go ahead, turn that off. Click the right bracket for the next stop announcement.
The next stop is Docks.
I would not recommend going over 60 kilometers an hour. Just dewiring or flying your engine, whichever comes first. You're going to want to accelerate on this, so make sure you go slow because you want to go left. I'm going to click that next stop announcement.
Docks.
I usually turn off my right blinker as soon as I'm stopped, and the left when I'm pulling out. In America, they turn on their hazards, but this is Europe, so you don't have to. Left blinker because they're pulling out. Move that on because we're going to turn left here.
The next stop is Yellow Avenue. Yellow Avenue.
I think we'll go ahead and end the tutorial here, guys. If this was helpful, be sure to leave a like. Maybe even subscribe if you're so kind. Otherwise, if you have any questions or comments, be sure to leave it in the comment section below. Thanks for watching, and I hope you have a fantabulous day. Yes, we'll go with that.